Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to discuss a little this concept called minimalism. Now, when you think of, well, when I first thought of first heard of minimalism, it was more of a kind of thing in the 80s where you have pristine white kitchens and not a single utensil or machine out on the actual work surface, and it looks like neat and tidy. You know, you get like these kind of yuppie. I'm going back a bit now, showing my age, but you get these yuppie apartments and stuff with very little in the way of furnishings and stuff, and it's kind of it's all stuff that's been put away basically. It's kind of stuff that looks neat and tidy, and it doesn't draw your attention too much, and it's the simplicity. Now these days, when people are integrating minimalism into their lives, it's more of a question of cutting back on possessions, like completely, not as in just in the non-visual area, but as in completely, as in, you know, cutting back on things that you don't need. I mean, we're all drawn into this constant cycle of buying the latest gadget, be it the latest iPhone gadget or, you know, technology. And sometimes the old ones aren't even broken, you know, and apart from the money-saving aspect of it, like, you know, we're buying things on credit and paying it off later and all this stuff, yeah, and getting, you know, newer models of everything when the other ones don't work. And let's face it, I mean, these days things aren't built to last. You find yourself buying a new fridge because the last one was knackered. But there is a lot of people who buy stuff just for the sake of buying things. And what happens is we tend to amass these things, really, don't we? I mean, having moved overseas twice, backwards and forwards from England, I found myself with a lot of crap that I just thought, why the fuck did I bring this? You know, I had a shipping container that followed me the second time, and literally I've been there because the shipping containers, the deal is it takes quite a while for it to turn up. Turned up like 2 or 3 months after it actually quite settled into place, and suddenly I had all this crap. I didn't know what the hell to do with it, and it's just, we tend to cling on to things. And minimalism gets you know, some people say, well, that's not minimalistic, this is not minimalistic. Basically, the idea is, cutting back, okay? So, whereas what you have here, you need to get down there, okay? And it's a stress thing as well, because when you own lots of stuff, it tends to kind of preoccupy your mind. You tend to find yourself you know, just in a massive clutter. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed yourself. My room is quite cluttered, but it's fairly well organised in some senses. And I find that when there's just loads of stuff around the place, it tends to affect my mindset, make me slightly absent-minded, and the confusion extends from the outwards inwards kind of thing. You see. And yeah, the basic thing is just to cut back, and the ways that I've cut back is simple things, yeah, like so clothes. Now, I mean, if you type in minimalism into YouTube, you'll find like a million of them. So, or even they have different ways of cutting back on various things. One of them I recommend is called Thriving Minimalist. That guy and the girl there, Connor and Brittany, are quite cool. They're quite cool people, yeah. But anyway, it's cutting back on things that you actually need. So clothes, yeah. Find yourself with drawers and cupboards full of clothes. I don't particularly have that many to start off with, but after I was thinking about it, I'm thinking, well, there's all these ones that I've got sat in here that I never use. So what I did was just bit by bit, I'm starting to pack them up, and I find that I'm not ever going into these boxes and stuff, and I'm just storing them around friends' houses and stuff. And yeah, in the end, it's extra space. Yeah, I mean, on the very even if you don't want to just give them all to Goodwill or some charity organisation, or trash them if they're really too messed up. Yeah. It's a lot of weight off your mind, really, because you're taking something that you don't need, and the more you cut down on things, the more efficient you make yourself. Things like underwear. I mean, it's surprising. I'm not a big fan of going commando initially, And I do own a couple of pairs of underpants for various kind of things when I'm actually kind of doing my martial arts. The trousers they have are very revealing, let's just say, so I have to wear that extra support just so I'm not, you know, flapping around the place, but and various things like that, yeah. But essentially, I'm just kind of like I've bundled up a whole load of them, and I find I don't really need them. I don't really miss them, and you know, I've got a cycle of clothes that I wear. I mean, you might see this shirt pop out quite a few times, and when I wear clothes down, I really knacker them. You know, I mean, they're actually threadbare at that stage. You see, so they're kind of, at that point, they're good for rags and to throw them in the bin. And that's a good thing as well, is to instead of just like throwing them in the bin, sometimes I make good rags. I mean, like, you know, you always buy like things to clean stuff up, but if it's literally just going to wipe something up and just throw it in the bin, this thing's going to go in the bin anyway, so why not cut it up into strips, or just have it in thing and just rip it to strips, and when you need it, just kind of use that, and then it's kind of, you've kind of reused it in a kind of sense, and then there you go. But yeah, things like that, and like other things like, I mean, just to do your little cutbacks one by one, little things that you kind of, you feel that you can do without, and you know, like especially with kitchen utensils and stuff, you know, just cut back with those. Some people are kind of more into kind of like, you know, kind of like running barefoot and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of like research that show that kind of like the less footwear you wear, the better off your posture is and your general kind of stance. You see, because we weren't really kind of evolution really didn't design us to actually have like a orthopedic support. I mean, as much as it helps sometimes. And I've actually found myself, even though I'm actually working with heavy machinery and stuff, working barefoot or with like minimal kind of like shoes like these. Here, let me show you. What these? I mean, like these are Zero shoes, which are quite cool. I actually bought a couple of pairs because I thought, and that's not very minimalistic, but I'd like to have a spare just in case, because they did take a while to actually get to me. And yeah, just when I need the extra kind of like support underneath the foot if I'm walking like concrete for a while. But you know, it's these little cutbacks that you can make. It's quite simple to do. So just give it a go and see what you can cut back, and you find actually it's actually quite psychologically liberating. Let's just say, you know. So have a go just cutting back a few things, and you might actually just get in the kind of like the gist of it, and like and find yourself kind of thinking, right, well, now I've cut this back, what else can I cut back on? And you'll find yourself kind of like rolling with a kind of a momentum to actually cut everything down. And there is a lot of arguments between what is minimalistic and what isn't. Okay, some people would say, well, if you're traveling to such a place, that's not minimalistic. You want to have no car, be cycling around the place. And yeah, those are all kind of like minimalistic ideas. But just do it to suit you. I mean, we're not talking about becoming a monk, having a robe, a bowl, and living on the top of a mountain here. We're just cutting it down to what you're comfortable with. Some people you'll find will do it to the extreme, and some people will do it to the bare minimum. But each will actually have a kind of like a psychological benefit from actually undertaking this kind of thing to start off with. So anyway, there's a little thing to ponder about, and yeah, just have a little go at that. Even just think about it initially. Just think what I can do without, you know. And you'll find yourself a little bit better off because of it. So, hope that's of some help to you, and I shall catch you again. Give it a little like if you like this video. There's plenty more to come. Hopefully we'll be interviewing some other people soon, so it's not just me chatting away here, because as much as it's interesting for me to get these things out, I'm pretty sure some people might get bored. So, there you go.